Cable Bahamas has been and continues to be a positive shot in the arm for our summer camps. We look forward to it. Without Cable Bahamas, I don't know if we will succeed because we look forward to the funding and we are very appreciative, particularly the Cable Cares program. We are very appreciative to what they do.
We thank the Cable Cares Foundation, which would have given into this program, and it's going to pay dividends in the long run because each one of these children are affected.
Well, Cable Bahamas Foundation has helped us in a huge way. We are out there looking for all kinds of help, and I am so happy that the Cable Foundation didn't decline us based on the economy and what is going on today.
So they've been it for a long time, and we look for them to be with us for many years to come.
The F&M leader vows to retire Prime Minister Perry Christie. This as a former PLP MP backs Brave Davis for PLP leader. Attorney Wayne Monroe defends his decision to join the PLP Plus. Concerned Bahamians conduct a cleanup campaign following a viral video. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Bonnie Toot and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has declared he will place Prime Minister Perry Christie in retirement if Christie decides to lead the Progressive Liberal Party into the next general election. While some have questioned Minnis' ability to lead the F&M to an election victory, the Killarney MP says there is no question he can beat Christie, Philip Davis, and Obi Wolshcombe.
He should retire. He should retire. And if Christie does not retire gracefully, I, Hubert Alexander Minnis, as I sit here, will retire him.
Amid rampant speculation over whether Perry Christie will seek re-election, opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis says he has no doubt in his ability to boot the Prime Minister out of office if he does not retire gracefully. Questions about Christie's political plans resurfaced after the Progressive Liberal Party announced plans to hold a national convention in November. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis and Tourism Minister Obi Wolshcombe have both expressed an interest in leading the PLP. However, Minnis says he can beat anyone the party chooses as its next leader.
It makes no difference who leads the PLP. I say categorically that they are enjoying their last term. So we will move them out. So whether it's Davis, whether it's Christie, whether it's Obi, whether it's Fitzgerald, I don't care who leads. All I know is they will soon be past tense.
So you think you can beat Christie?
Think? I know I can beat Christie.
What about Davis?
I said we will beat whoever they place there.
Before the 2012 general election, Christie indicated he would only serve half of the 5-year term. However, 3 years in, he has not stepped aside. Back in January, Christie asserted that Minnis is not a threat to him. However, the opposition leader insisted today the Prime Minister is in for a rude awakening.
If I was going to fight Muhammad Ali or Joe Fraser or whoever, I would tell you how I'm going to beat them. Deep down inside, I know I can't, but I would be bragging left, right, and center. What do you expect Christie to say? What do you expect? You could expect Christie to get up there and say, oh, Minnis going to beat me. He must hold his troops together even though he knows that their ship has multiple holes. He must still try and attempt to hold the troops together. But I hope he goes down with the ship.
Minnis said it's time to build a better nation under a better leader. He described Christie as a caretaker leader who is stuck in the past.
Christie's views are obsolete and of the past. Christie is what I call a caretaker leader. And he's a poor caretaker, he's a poor manager. The Bahamas needs and wants a change. The Bahamas wants transparency. We need a new Bahamas where everyone can speak freely, where their voices are heard.
Meantime, former PLP MP Philip Galanis has declared he would support Deputy Prime Minister Davis for leader of the PLP and predicted that on the Christie administration's current trajectory, the PLP would lose the next general election. However, FNM Chairman Michael Pintard said he finds Galanis' comments laughable. Simone Davis tells us more.
Galanis said if the PLP wants to have a shot at winning, it needs to take decisive action, including electing new leadership. He added that the party has to do some serious soul searching and believes Davis has delivered on the promises he made.
I think he's been a person who has delivered on promises that he has made. I know firsthand that he's done so. And that's really what is required. We don't need people who are going to not return telephone calls, who are not going to step up to the plate and assist persons who need government assistance.
However, Prime Minister Perry Christie has refused to say whether he would step down ahead of the next general election. Galanis said it is no secret that many Bahamians are disappointed with the government's performance on crime, the economy, and recent reports of corruption.
I think he's been a person who has delivered on promises that he has made. I know firsthand that he's done so. And that's really what is required. We don't need people who are going to not return telephone calls, who are not going to step up to the plate and assist persons who need government assistance.
Pintard said Galanis echoed the same sentiments that the FNM has been saying for years, which is that the PLP lacks true leadership. He also said he finds it surprising that Galanis supports the traits of the Deputy Prime Minister.
We don't take any pleasure in noting that Mr. Galanis has echoed the very same things that we have said. But it does tell you that even in the ranks of the Progressive Liberal Party, there are many who cannot deny the simple facts that this government has not been up to the task of governing in a way that would grow this economy, that would address the most serious issues of crime, of immigration, of health care, and of education. Let me go a little further and to make the point that what we did find rather shocking is that Mr. Galanis would endorse the Deputy Prime Minister. And we find it shocking for the same reasons that I stated earlier.
The FNM chairman said the traits he has seen from Davis, such as allegedly misleading the public in the House of Assembly while addressing the issues at BAMSI, he doesn't think he is fit to lead a country and called Galanis' support laughable.
This is the same Deputy Prime Minister that has misled the House of Assembly, an act that should have warranted his resignation. So we find it quite laughable that that Mr. Galanis, the former Member of Parliament, would endorse Mr. Davis. And certainly, over time, there are likely to be other facts coming to the surface as to why that would be rather inappropriate for the Bahamas to have Mr. Davis function in any other capacity.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Meantime, attorney Wayne Monroe is speaking out tonight on his decision to join the PLP. Kyle Joaquin has that story.
My vision for the future of my country is a country where Bahamians, my children, my grandchildren, are benefiting from what is theirs, which is their country, its resources, its abilities.
His vision, he says, hasn't changed, but when it comes to Wayne Monroe and the party of his choice, his loyalty now lies with the Progressive Liberal Party. In May of 2012, Monroe was one of 38 candidates being put up by the Democratic National Alliance for the party's first ever general election. He and the FNM's Tommy Turnquest lost to PLP newcomer Arnold Forbes. 3 years later, Monroe is no longer a part of the DNA and says it's been that way since he lost. He explains why a third party nor the opposition would work for him.
It should not all be about, I want to be Prime Minister. That is the greatest problem I see with my generation, as if people here are clock ticking and saying, if I don't get to be the Prime Minister, then the next Prime Minister can be from the generation after me. That really shouldn't matter. What should matter is I have a contribution to make. Let me find the most effective way of making that contribution.
He said many people getting involved in third parties aren't necessarily trying to better the country, but are just interested in becoming a cabinet minister or prime minister. All that he called vanity.
And instead of just trying to be personal. You should be engaging in bringing forward solutions for the underlying problems. But it's all about personality. There seems to be a drive politically to say that you have to have this change, this generational change, either change of parties, change of leaders, and as if change is a means unto itself.
He said folks like Andre Rollins and Greg Moss weren't kicked out of the PLP because of their dissenting views. They left. For him, that's not how being a part of a government works. Monroe has been very vocal against the government in several issues, most notably representing the Police Staff Association in their recent legal battles, as well as his stance against the gender equality referendum.
I don't know why people apprehend that my stance will change. My position is that the issues of citizenship are best dealt with by regulation. That has been my position, will continue to be my position, whether I'm a member of the PLP, FNM, DNA, or QRS. My position as to what is in the interests of this country will be my position.
Prime Minister Christie has been criticized time and time again for the way he's been leading his government. We asked Monroe what he thinks of leadership within the PLP. He said that's actually one of the main reasons he joined.
As I understand the system, the Prime Minister is first amongst equal. I don't know why people get so bent out of shape over who is the Prime Minister. They carry on as if he governs alone. And the one thing you can hear from the media reports about the PLP is Christie can't control his cabinet. Well, he's not supposed to be able to. He's first amongst equals. So all of that, people who talk things like that don't really understand our system. They think that we have a president. We do not have a president. And the fact that the PLP singularly appear to be able to understand that is what causes me to join them.
As it stands now, Monroe said he's not sure whether or not he's going to offer himself as a candidate in the next general election. He said all he wanted to do was become a member of the PLP. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Well, Democratic National Alliance leader Granville McCartney says Monroe's decision to join the PLP came as a surprise. Monroe was a DNA candidate in the 2012 general election. McCartney says he wishes Monroe the best, and he is sure the attorney will be an asset to the PLP.
Mr. Monroe obviously made a decision to leave the DNA and join the PLP. Now, I've not heard him say that. I'm only going on what is read. So, you know, if that is indeed the case, it came as a surprise that a person like Mr. Monroe may have gone to the PLP. But, you know, we certainly wish him all the very best. And I have no doubt that he would be an asset to that party. And hopefully he would continue to be an asset to the country.
McCartney also denied reports his deputy Chris Mortimer is leaving the DNA and responded to former Deputy Prime Minister Brent Simonet, who said he is open to the FNM joining forces with the DNA.
I heard what Brent Simonet said. I don't know the full content of his discussion, but the DNA is here to stay. The DNA is a party, and let me repeat this as clearly as possible. Granville McCartney is not leaving the DNA to go to the FNM or PLP or otherwise. We remain. We will continue to move forward. We will continue to prepare for the election. We will continue to give the Bahamian people an option as to whether or not they want to choose between bad and worse or something better. We've had bad and worse for those 40 years.